American colonial manufacturing was subordinated to the British imperial system. The role of American colonies was in production of agricultural products, while manufactured goods were imported from Britain. It was subordinated to the British imperial system, in which America produced agricultural products and imported manufactured goods from Britain. Britain deliberately controlled and slowed down the development of American manufacturing, but it also allowed the development which was in the interest of Britain and not threatening independent development. Sectors of manufacturing. Manufacturing in colonial America was characterized mainly by small enterprises. Small-scale production existed in sectors such as rum production, hat making, iron casting, and domestic spinning and weaving performed by women. The largest manufacturing activity was connected to commerce. Logging was important for the development of shipbuilding and for the sale of ships to British merchants. In connection with logging and shipbuilding, a profitable fishing industry emerged, which in turn encouraged the construction of more ships. Apart from shipbuilding, there was no other large-scale production. Textile manufacture was still carried out in households rather than in factories. Some of this production was exported, and some governors and British politicians were anxious that the people capable of clothing themselves might think they were capable of governing themselves. However, this production remained largely decentralized and domestic, without the capacity for mass production. A specific form of American manufacturing developed in the South. In 1761, it was noted that in South Carolina, slaves who were not working on plantations engaged in artisanal production. In Virginia, small-scale artisanal production by a few women emerged in buildings next to plantations. This development resulted from indebtedness and shortages of foreign manufactured goods. British limitations of manufacturing. Britain insisted on the importation of manufactured goods and on agricultural development. As early as 1706, it demanded that slaves wear British clothing, and in 1732 it prohibited the export of hats. Later, in 1751, Britain also placed pressure on iron manufacturing. Its goal was to make Americans produce iron only for Britain rather than steel or iron tools. In other words, America was expected to specialize in raw materials rather than in technologically more advanced products with greater value and refinement. During an examination in the House of Commons, Benjamin Franklin was asked in detail how much wool and clothing Americans produced. He answered that woolen product manufacture was ready to emerge within the next 3 years. Those structural and political limitations do not tell the whole story. As in trade, Americans also enjoyed some protection in manufacturing. The Navigation Act of 1651 influenced the local development of manufacturing because it required every imported good from other European countries to pass through British merchants. This raised the prices of imports and slightly incentivized domestic production. Much later, iron exports to Britain increased from 39 tons in 1761 to 2,234 tons in 1771. Organization of work. Ironworks were the closest equivalents to modern factories. Operating furnaces required a high degree of coordination. This work required a highly disciplined and skilled workforce. In the Chesapeake, ironworks employed free laborers alongside young enslaved people, who sometimes numbered several hundred. One businessman stated that white artisans were inferior workers because they lacked patience and loyalty, and were unwilling to be reprimanded. In the North, Philadelphia shifted from slave labor to immigrant workers during the 1760s. Benjamin Franklin was not very fond of factories. He argued that they were composed of landless poor people who agreed to work in a factory for a master. In his view, yeoman farmers were free people working on their own land, whereas manufacturing created dependent people who worked for wages. Not every manufacturing job took the form that Franklin described. Urban artisans owned the means of production, including their workshops and tools. These artisans were not poor, and over time they developed their workshops into factories and expanded small-scale production for export. Colonial manufacturing developed within a dependent relationship with Britain. The British regarded it as a threat to the relationship in which Americans were expected to export raw materials and food while importing manufactured goods. This was the basis on which manufacturing developed unevenly. However, sectors such as shipbuilding, iron production, and to some degree household textile manufacture were important for the development of independence. Enslaved laborers and merchants made production less dependent as their involvement resulted from the adaptations to the limits imposed by Britain. Although manufacturing was less important than agriculture and commerce, it was somewhat less dependent on Britain than the financial sector. It also played a role in maintaining the revolutionary hegemonic bloc. Thus, manufacturing partially served as a basis for independence, but it was not fully outside of British influence.